Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I would start the video by saying sorry because I am being irregular in uploading the videos. The last videos I had uploaded was quite a long time ago, which was on this topic, and since then it has been like I thought that I had answered almost everything, but no, a lot of more questions were coming on how to appear for the interview, how to prepare yourself for the written and as well as the interview. So here, firstly, I would like to say, I would like to give a disclaimer that I am no expert in giving you advice about how to prepare yourself for the interview or as well as for the admission test, because I had given it once and that was also 4.5 years ago. So the whatever I had shared over here is what I had experienced. So, but I can understand that you are very anxious that you got selected and now what to do and what not to do about giving your interviews as well as giving your written exam. But the thing is that prepare yourself well. I had appeared for this interview or PhD as well as JRF around 4.5 years back. So a lot have changed after that, because I was here before COVID. So during COVID there was no admission test at all. There was only 2 rounds of interviews which were happening online because no person to person interaction was available during the COVID time. And again the format went back to admission test plus interview when the COVID session was off. And here you have to come to the campus in person and then appear for the written test as well as the interview. So here I thought that okay, fine, let me share what I had experienced during my both JRF interview as well as the PhD interview. So I will be dividing sections into JRF interview and the PhD interviews. So firstly, I'll talk about the JRF interview. It happened online. It happened through Skype. So what happens is that during your JRF interview, you have a certain PI, a certain co-PI who are already there in your project, because the project advertisement come online and then only you apply for that, and if you get selected they will call you for the interview session might go on for 1 or 2 rounds. So that depends on if you are getting selected in the first round, they'll call up for your second round. The second round is very much personal, that is just between PI and you, so that there's some questions like when you can come or when you can join, that happens. But in the first round, which is very important because all your project PIs and co-PIs will be over there, and the session will be very much technical. Because if you are okay, fine, here I would like to say that there are two types of candidates that might apply for over here. One who have a lab experience and the other who doesn't have. If you have a prior lab experience, you might expect questions, a lot of questions on that only, because I did my master's dissertation of around 1 year to 6 months. So I had included that in my CV, that my master dissertation was on this topic, and the question being asked was mostly on that. They asked me questions based on what I had done in my during my dissertation thing, and also during your period JRF, you can understand the project. A brief description of the project will also be there in the advertisement, so do not miss that. You will get a lot of information from there about what's the topic of your project, what is details about what can be done during the project, what methods you can apply to prove this topic like that. So they'll ask some analytical questions like what should you do to so that you can prove this thing. So I'm just giving one example, like what should you do to understand the protein expression of this proteins. So if you know the answer, it's of course an upper hand for you. So it's better that you learn about the project a bit, do some research of yourself, that what is this and actually what is this about, and then go prepared for the interview. That will help you out in a much more better way. And the one thing I would like to say, that whatever you are including in the CV, you should know thoroughly about it. If you are telling that you know about this languages, like computer languages, then you should know that. If you are telling that you know about this techniques, then you should be confident that you can handle the questions that will be asked on those topics. So that's what is very much important. Whatever you are including in your CV, that you should know yourself. And again, in the personal sessions, they will not ask you about what do you think you will be doing after 5 years. That there is no such defined questions as you can expect in a job interview. It is nothing defined. It is very much personal. From one person to person, the interview questions may vary. What I had faced might not be the case for you. So I am repeatedly saying that I'm no expert in this. I'm just sharing what I had experienced during my PhD and during my GRF interview. And also they'll ask you that Pilani is a bit outskirts, so if you can adjust to the extreme climates condition over here, because it's extremely hot or extremely cold. And now it's very much hot over here, so coming from lab and then shooting a video and editing it just squeeze all the energy out of me. That's why I know it's not an excuse, but I'm being a bit lazy. I don't know what it is, but I just am not getting much time to upload the video. Again, I'm sorry for that. Believe me, I thought of doing artwork and shoot a video about that. The only thing I did is just to clean all the dust particles from my drawing book and then keeping it back to the shelf, and that's all I had done, nothing else. So I don't know what is happening. I can understand that I'm being irregular, but I'm sorry for that. But I don't know what to do to just I am not getting much time. I don't know what to do, but I'll come up with something. So the next topic of discussion is a PhD interview. That's the main thing that is being asked, because I can understand that you are preparing for your interview and you have your examination, like interview as well as written exam on 21st of May, as I can recall. I am not sure about it. Anyways, so during your PhD interview, there will be a panel of faculties or everyone who is interested in taking students in this semester will be there present in your interview session. So you can expect a lot of questions from every one of them. They'll ask you questions on what you have knowledge you have, what subjects you had you have read in your masters and bachelors, what all the if you are having a dissertation work in masters, that will also get you can expect questions on that as well. And they'll ask you your preferences, which project you want to work on. They'll give you a list, and from there you have to pick up the top 3 projects you want to work on. So you can expect a lot of questions from that as well. They'll cultivate you. They'll ask you questions on their field, and they'll see that if you are suitable for this project or this project or this project. Also, you can expect questions from all kind of topics, because they'll cultivate you. They will see that if you are ready to be in the lab on a level ready to be in their lab, working in their lab. So there might be in a department only, there might be a number of subtopics which on which many people are working. So they can ask you questions on cancer, they can ask you questions on Drosophila, they can ask you questions on Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, malaria, whatnot, because and plants as well. So if you are having a background of plants, please do not skip questions on animal physiology or animal whatever it's there, because you might expect questions. So if you are thinking that you are from botany or background or agricultural background, so you won't be getting questions on animal physiology or anything like that. That's wrong. So you have to prepare for everything. That's why I'm telling that prepare everything. You will never get disappointed. But during the interview, if you are showing interest in plant research only, so you can also include that in your during your interview. They'll ask you what's the topic of interest you are working you want to work on. At last also they'll ask you your preferences, because not only that, during your PhD interview also they'll give you a list of projects which are available during the during this time, and you can also get to choose what the topic you want to work on. So during the PhD Viva, I can say that different departments have different things to discuss about. Like in bio department, first you will have the written exam. There then after your exam you will have to wait for some time. The list will come out with a list of students who have qualified for the exam, and then they'll go for the interview. But that's the format for biology department. But for pharmacy department, there is only an interview session, and that one goes extensive. You have to be patient about it, and there will be a panel of faculties who will ask you questions of different topics of interest. They'll give you a preference as well, on which you want to work on. So you have to be very careful that whatever whatever you are putting in your written, that you are interested in this topic, you have to have knowledge on that. So if you do not, they'll say that you are not suitable for this. So, and whomsoever is having a project open will always be there in the panel. So you can expect questions that. And also I would like to say that whenever you are applying for the PhD, please go through the profile of each and every faculties listed. There will be a descriptive and details about all the faculties in the BITS page. So go and check it out, and do not miss out at who is working on what, so that you can have an idea, okay, that to answer this faculty I have to be prepared like this. So you can expect a lot of technical questions. If you are having some technical exposure, then they'll ask you questions on that. If you do not have, if you have more of a theoretical knowledge, then they'll ask you questions on how you can implement your theory in your research. Like if you are knowing about this technique theoretically, then how can you apply it in your practical method? Like if you want to determine this kind of things, then what techniques you think that might come in handy, so that you can prove this concepts. So you have to have some knowledge about how to apply your theory in your practical. So have some analytical knowledge as well. This is very important. This is what I'm talking about, bio or any technical based topics. Like if you are having a degree in engineering as well, then also you can expect some questions like this. In the engineering, there is I think in the technical field there is a must about a dissertation for 6 to 1 years. So you can ask, you can definitely expect questions on your dissertation work. So it will be there for sure. And if you are applying for a project, so be confident about it, and make sure that you know about this topic and you have some knowledge about this. If you do not have a prior knowledge, then do not be afraid to admit that and say that you are willing to know about it, you are willing to learn about this topic. This PhD, you are not no expert, you do not come knowing everything, you are building your knowledge through this process. So make sure that you make this very clear in your interview as well, that if you do not know about something, you are willing to learn about it. They'll just see that if you are willing to work or not, if you are very much enthusiastic in your research, you are having a passion about it, you want to be in this field only for a long period of time. This is very important. They see how much enthusiastic, how much willing you are to be in this program. And this is actually required also. Whenever you are getting into PhD is okay, but surviving through PhD, it needs motivation, it needs self-motivation. I also told you before also that a few days it will come that you are not getting any result, you are not getting motivated to go to lab, but you have to keep on motivating yourself to carry on. So that's what is important, that they'll see in your interview as well, that you are much driven, or you are much I'll say interested in this topic, so that you can carry on for this long journey. So there is nothing very much personal, like nothing very much common in everybody's interview. Everybody's questions might be different, it might vary from person to person. If you are having a dissertation, if you are not having a dissertation work, if you are having a prior lab experience, no lab experience, if you are being a JR, if you have a MPhil degree, you have some research in exposure before, there is such a number of things that might vary from one person to person. So you cannot expect that where do you think you will be after 5 years, what are the hobbies you are having, hobbies they might ask. So there is nothing like, okay, prepare for this is questions, you are done with the interview. Nothing like that. You have to be ready. So whatever you are putting in your CV, whatever you are having a knowledge about, be thorough about it. Think before you answer. Do not, and be confident. If you are being confident, then that will give you an upper hand, of course. And so do not expect questions that where you will be after 5 years, because there is a chance that you will be still in BITS after 5 years. I'm just joking. You can complete way before that if you want. You can be done anytime. Anyways, so this again I'm telling you that this I'm talking about the people who are having a technical degree, or you are applying for a bio or pharma or engineering field. But whenever you are going for economics or any department like humanities or management, seriously I'm speaking, I have no idea how the questions are being asked in this department, because I hardly it's not possible for me, that I'm just a student over here. It's not possible for me to go and sit in the interviews of those and see that what the question is that's being asked. So I'm sorry for that. I do not have a third knowledge about it, but I am saying that whatever you are putting in your CV, be confident and answer questions on that. Whatever project is open, or whatever faculties are working on, we have some knowledge about those things. Then it will help you out in your process as well. So I think that whatever I had shared, it's only my way of seeing it. Whatever I had experienced, I don't know it will be helpful for you or not, but I just tried. I don't know how much it will help you out, but still I think that this video will be helpful for you as well. So if you like anything any videos like this, then please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. More videos will come on, and during what you should do during the PhD. See, getting into PhD is the first step done. Then you have your qualifying exam, then you have your PhD proposal. Okay, you do not need to be prepared with a proposal right away, because first you need to qualify the PhD qualifying exam, and then only they'll ask you for the proposal. If you do not qualify, then you will give you another chance. Then the proposal will take place, and then only also. So after you are getting admitted, the thing is that you'll get an offer letter, of course, from the department, and then you have to come and do all the process of admission, and then your coursework will start. If you have a technical degree, then the coursework will be for 6 months, and if you are having a BS and MSc degree or a BA MA degree, then the coursework might go on for a year, and then you'll have to give a PhD qualifying. You don't worry about the research proposal during this time of this time, because they'll not ask you for the research proposal right away. You have to qualify for the qualifying exam, and then only you have to go carry on with your proposal. So after the proposal is done, your work will start. You will hardly get some time for yourself, and I'm not scaring you off, but this is the reality. You have to be motivated. If you are coming for a PhD program, you know that you are getting into a long-term commitment, so you have to be ready for that. And then comes thesis defense, thesis viva, lot of things. So see, this is a step by step. You will learn about a lot of things during your PhD. I also am still learning these, and I also want to know about many more things, which I'll share in the next video, upcoming videos as well. So for that, stay tuned to my channel. I hope you like this video. If you think anything is anything I told about in this video is informative, and you can connect to it and relate to what I have experienced during my PhD interview, and to your PhD interview as well. And do not forget to share your experiences as well in the comment section below. So see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.